Welcome to Blender Frenzy. I am Justin, and it is the release of the new long-term support version of Blender 2.93, and I'm really excited because I generally only use the long-term support versions. I should say for production. I do mess around with the new features versions, but generally it's the long-term support that I do for production because I know I can rely on that, and that's what they're there for. If you don't know already, you can go to blender.org/download/LTS for long-term support, and you will see this page. Basically, at the second quarter of every year, they're going to come out with another long-term support release that's supposed to last 2 years. So 2.83 is still long-term support until next year. When 3.3 comes out, then that will no longer be, they're not going to do the critical updates anymore. But then 2.93 just started, so that's going to be another 2 years, and you see 3.7. So I'm actually excited about 2.93 a little more than I think I am excited about 3. Because I'm not usually too excited about the cutting edge new technology or new programs, because usually they've got a lot of bugs, and I don't like that. I mean, there are some things that I think are cool, but if you have some things that are cool that are only halfway working, it doesn't really excite me all that much to dive into them until I know that they're solid and robust. I know that there's different trains of thought. I know that there are a lot of people that like to be right on the cutting edge of every new feature that comes out. Hey, and you know what? To each their own, and you do you, and that is just fine. So as you can see here, that says the Blender LTS program is aimed at ensuring that long-lasting projects can be executed using a stable Blender version. That's what the LTS is. And then you can see these other versions here. The orange ones are the new featured versions, and then the blue ones are just the critical updates, so the long-term support, but they're not going to put any new features in there. Now, I'm probably talking to an audience that already knows this, but just in case you're new to Blender or new to my channel, then this is kind of exciting for me, and so I was sharing it. You can actually also go here. The LTS program is currently being tested, so they're still kind of working this out. But if you go to code.blender.org, it'll take you to this long-term support pilot. It's still in a pilot program, but it gives you, the reasons why that they might do this and what their plans are. But today we are going to look at some of the features of the video sequence editor, of course, because hello, it's me. And we're going to look at those with the 2.93 version that just came out. And I wanted to do this as quickly as I could so that 2.93 didn't get too far ahead of me. So I haven't actually looked at all of these. I've kind of glanced at some of them, but you're going to be learning right along with me if you haven't seen these yet. So you can actually do a search for Blender Release Notes, and it will get you to this page. And then you can click on whatever release, obviously the latest stable one I'm going to click on. And then I'm going to just click on the VFX and video, and then this is the page we're going to go over. So at first glance, you can see just some technical stuff, the FFmpeg. This is actually really important for the video sequence editor, of course, because we're dealing with video. I'm not going to go into each one of these here. It's making the FFmpeg video previews and things like that faster, which is cool. I don't need to know any more about that. I'm not a coder or a developer. I'm more on the creative side of things. So motion tracking, this is cool. Add tracking average operator. Yeah, sounds good. I haven't looked at that. And then lock to view, something about lock to view causing jumps. I didn't really notice anything, but anyway, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the sequencer. So before I get into that, I do know the automatic proxy building because I have seen this and I have actually tested this. So I wanted to show you that first. So let me grab this video. So this is the video I just did for my freeze frame. And let me bring that. Oh, wait, no, you can't see that. Just a second here. Whew, here we go. Put on the screen. So this is the video that I did for my freeze frame just in the last video. You can see that this video is in a folder by itself. I want you to watch when I drag this in here. Down here, you're going to have an automatic proxy loading. And then in here, you'll see the proxy folder that is automatically created. So we're just going to add that, and boom. You can see that folder, and you can see down here, Proxies building automatically. In 2.93, it's automatic by default. But now it's already built those proxies for me, and if I drag the playhead, you can see that's pretty cool. Now, am I on? I don't know what percentage it does. Actually, we can check. So if we go back here, go into our proxy folder, and then here, oh, it's 100%. So, okay, so this is okay, but a couple of things I don't like about this. As one, it makes it 100%. The other one is that whatever folder your video is in, it's going to make that proxy in by default. Now, the problem is you can't change that. You can change it to be automatic or manual rather than automatic. So if you go to your preferences and then go to, what is it, system? Yeah, so down here, you're under video sequencer, your proxy setup now, this is a new option. You can change automatic to manual. What I would like, and I think I did mention this to them when I was on the chat a few months ago, I did mention that it would be nice for this to have a little like checkbox. You can put a designated proxy folder, kind of like you can do with the manual. So if I click manual, well, I suppose, does that even matter? Let's go to the proxy settings. Okay, so if I choose automatic, does that go away? No, it doesn't. But manual basically means that I choose my own proxy settings, of course. So then here I can go to custom proxy directory, and I have one directory that I keep all of my proxies in, regardless of what video I'm working on. It's just easy that way. I know where to go right away and then build the proxies. The other thing is I can choose the resolution. So right now the automatic is at 100%. The resolution I usually use is 25% because I don't need anything more than that. The 100 resolution, let's see what file size that is, because I didn't actually see that. Let's drag this out here a little bit. Okay, okay, well, this is a small video. This one is 10 megabytes, so that's not bad. But the video is only let's see, how long is the video? Let's just do home. Oh, yeah, 20 seconds. So I guess you can calculate that, maybe 20-second video, 10 megabytes. Regardless, if I make a 25% proxy and I do, rebuild my proxies, it's going to crash. So there you go. Yeah, I didn't like that. All right, well, there you go. I'll let you choose whether or not you want automatic or manual proxies, but that is what that is. Okay, so let's check out some of these other ones. I haven't looked into these. So inherit blend mode with single input effects. So I'm just gonna pull this up in another tab. Okay, video sequence editor inherit. It is very likely that after applying effects like transform or speed on a strip with certain blending, the user would want to change the effect blending to match the original strip. Okay, I don't entirely know what that means. Let's do this. Featured on feature or suggested here. Oh, this is another chat. When adding a transform effect strip to an image, the transform strip is added with the replace blend mode. Right, because the strip that's above it basically replaces the strip that's below it. Oh, note that the default blend for image is alpha over. This is confusing because changing the blend mode is not what one had in mind when one adds a transform effect. That is true, although we don't have to add transform effects anymore, which is nice, but other effects. So in this GIF, I show how adding a transform effect replaces the rest of the compositing stack. Yeah, but isn't that what you already? Oh, so this is what we already do. Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused. I propose that the new default setting for an effect strip is to take the blend mode of the input strip. Yeah, it makes sense to me, absolutely. Then you don't have to change that also. Because when you add this, see, you can see when it starts over here. So it starts off with nothing, then adding a transform strip, then all of a sudden the background disappears. It's because now the blend mode is replaced instead of alpha over. But yeah, I agree. It should inherit whatever blend mode that it's modifying. Absolutely. 100% agree. So on the right, I have Blender 2.92, and if I select my meta strip, you can see the blend mode is alpha over, and if I Shift A to add an effect strip, we're just going to choose speed control. You can see that we have a transparent background, and if we collapse this, come to compositing, our blend mode is replace. So the meta strip is alpha over, but then when we add the speed control, it is replace. Over on the right, I've got Blender 2.93. If I select my meta strip, and then it's alpha over, and then if I add in a speed control here, it inherits that blend mode of alpha over. So they're both automatically alpha over. And you can see we don't have the transparent background here. So for this one, we'd have to actually come and manually replace this to alpha over to have the same effect. I'm assuming that's the case with any of these here. Let's get rid of the speed control here, and then over here as well, just the speed control. And we're going to select our meta strip, change this to, I don't know, subtract. Okay, ooh. So we've got that as in subtract, and then we add in a speed control. It's replace, and here, same thing. Add that to be subtract, and then add in a speed control. It's subtract, so they match. Cool. Next. Okay, automatic proxy. We did that. Simplify proxy settings. What is this? Remove full render size from VSC preview size. Oh, yeah, I did see that. So let's go back to blend. Oh, yes, it crashed. I gotta open it again. Okay, so let's load that video in again. Now the proxy is already there, so it doesn't matter. It's already loaded, so I don't have to load it again. And okay, yeah, so the preview, if we press N, we open up the properties, go to view, proxy render size 100%. So there used to be another one here that said scene render. Oh, no, it says scene size. What was the other one? Hold on, let me open up an older version of Blender. Okay, so I got Blender 2.92 up here. What was the other one? Let's check. Scene render size. Oh, no proxy full render. See, I didn't actually know what the difference between scene render size, proxy 100%, and no proxy full render. Those to me all seemed like the same kind of thing, except for if you didn't make a proxy at 100%, you wouldn't have that, of course. These two seem like the same size, same thing. Scene render size, no proxy full render, but whatever. Okay, that's the new change. Okay, so then we also have add use proxies checkbox to control whether proxies are used globally. Okay, interesting. Move preview size to top so it's most prominent. Setting default size to 100% preview size and use proxies. Interesting. Okay, they just rearranged this here and mess with the defaults. Okay, so cool. Next one. Preview images when moving strip handles. Ooh, I think I like this one. I don't think I noticed this before. Okay, so add an option to override current frame when transforming strip handles. Ooh, yeah. Option can be found in the menu, the view menu of the VSC preview, or in the timeline when using a backdrop. I never use the backdrop. You can if you want. I don't like that. But view menu of the VSC preview. Okay. View, preview during transform. Is that what that is? Is that what it says? Okay, so let's check. Okay, so let's just bring these up here. We've got the back of me here, but if I move this, it does. Look at that. So it's previewing where the handle is that I'm moving right now. I like that. Because if we make a cut or a split, I don't like calling it split. I just don't. So now if I want to adjust these, I can be like, oh, look, I can see exactly where whoop, hands down, and we can do whoop, like that, and then yeah, it just gives you a lot finer control. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, yeah, that's gonna come in handy. Okay, next one, text strip improvements. Ooh, let's see what those are. Ooh, lots of them. Position text in center of image. Yes, I like that already. So let's add in a text and bring that up. Okay, yep. So the text is now right in the middle, right in the center of the image. It used to be down here. Okay, that's not a good spot for it anyway. So yeah, and then we can put that text box there. That's cool. I've already see. Look, they have added an alpha for the text box where you can adjust the alpha. Ooh, I like that. I don't know if that was there before, but I just noticed that. Okay, what else? Increase default font size so it's more visible. Okay, that's cool. Increase font size limit. Okay. I didn't know what the limit was. Increase limit for location so the text can be scrolled off screen. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that it couldn't be scrolled off screen before. I thought you could do that, but I mean, I never really tried it. Location. Oh yeah, here's the location. Yeah, well that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Wrap text by default. Yes, I like that. I don't know what the current wrapping is. I can just ask it. What is the current situation for the wrapping in the Blender text box? How dare I lowercase Blender? Question mark. Okay, that's cool. And then you have the, where is it? Oh, wrap width right here. Oh, it's right under it. That's pretty cool. Wrap width. And then you can change that. Yeah, really, what I like about this so far is that they're making things a lot more intuitive. Like just what you would expect if you put a text box in there. You know, where you would expect to see the text. How you would expect it to behave compared to modern day applications that use text. So yes, I love all of this. Okay, tweak default box and shadow color. That's what we were just doing. So default box and shadow color. Oh, no, you could do the shadow color. What I didn't like about the shadow, which I still don't think you can change, is that so you have the shadow, but you can't change the direction of it or move it around. I think that would be a good addition, unless you can already do it and I just don't know how. Change text shadow position right there. What? Okay, did I miss something? Change text shadow position. How? So here's the location of the text. Position. Am I just blind? Am I missing something here? Shadow. Change. Move to the left. Is it a new telekinesis thing where I just think it? Move. Box margin. So the box margin is cool. I like that. Well, I don't know. I don't see it. So I'm going to need your guys' help. If you can find that for me, let me know. Leave a comment. Anyway, okay, moving on. Add bold italic option for text strip. Yes, I did see this. Although this is interesting to me because when you open a text, it actually comes with, you see this dash bold, like then you dash regular, dash semi-bold, light, extra light. So when you tell other programs like Microsoft Word to use bold, I always assume that it was just code to say use the different form. So use this form, but the form dash bold or dash italics. So we already got these here. We're already choosing whether or not we're having like a thin, like an extra light one or a bold. But let me just check. So this is the thin one. Let's get rid of that shadow. And let's move that alpha all the way up. So that's really thin. Let's do the bold, see what that does. Okay. I actually like that. Because then you don't have to go then searching for that separate text, and you can quickly switch back and forth. And same thing probably with the italics. Yeah, I like that. And because sometimes I found one that's either too thin, and then I go to the bold one and it's too bold. So having something in between, maybe this could be a good option. I don't know. I like it. Okay, next, add new meta RNA API function. Sounds like coding. I'm probably not going to go into this much. This function can be used to create, an empty meta strip. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad I did click on this, which is not straightforward when using operators. Very useful for importing and exporting scripts. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to look more into that, but I don't know how. Add new meta. Okay. Can I add? How do I add it? Add new meta RNA API function. Yeah, maybe this is some sort of like code thing. I'm not going to look into this too much. If you know what this is, leave a comment. I'm curious, but not so much that curious. Okay. Add move to meta RNA API function. Okay. So I'm guessing that's similar, so you can move stuff in and out. This function can be used to move strips into meta strips with no side effects like change of selection state. Okay. I don't know how to do this though. Is this something that can only be done in code, or is this something that I can actually do? Leave a comment. I'm not going to stay on this too long here. Okay, next one, disk cache path was changed to include this suffix, and that also seems like a coding thing. Okay. So more, just better functionality with the cache. So one thing I actually discovered while I was starting to edit this video is there's another thing that has changed, and I don't know what category this falls under. I didn't see it on the actual website. Maybe you guys can find it. But you see how I have this meta strip here. This has the parts to my motion graphic here, as you can see. Let me turn off that audio scrubbing here. We can see, yeah, it just has all of that in here, which is just consists of some individual image sequences that I rendered, and then my text. But I have got all of these in a meta strip, and right now we are at, let's go to my view, 50%. Now I've rearranged my sequence editor to look like this. Yours might look a little different, but the view tab here is if you hover your mouse over the preview and press the N on the keyboard, you can see this view. It'll probably be a separate properties panel that's just in the preview. Again, I've rearranged all this, but find your view and then you see at 50% here, which if we come back to Blender, this is Blender 2.92. You can see that if I go back to my view, the proxy size right now is at 50%, but this is tiny. This is at 50%. So if I go to scene render size, then it shows it full. But then if it's at scene render size, it's not using my proxies. So here, I'm using the proxies at 50%, but it's still at 100% of the preview size, which is a huge improvement, and a lot of people actually have been asking a question about this. They have been having a problem where the images that they were using weren't really listening to the proxy size. They would just go down 50%, or if you did it 25%, then it would go down 25%. Now see, it's going down 25% in quality, but it's scaling it up to the whole preview window size, which again, in here, it does not. So if I go down to proxy 25%, not only 25% quality, it doesn't rescale this to fit the preview window. So that is another wonderful, wonderful addition. I don't know what category, again, that falls under on the updates on the website, but this is going to be a huge improvement for all of you who are having that problem. So anyway, there you go, the 2.93 VSC new features or new updates, bug fixes, enhancements. Not quite as big as the 2.92 one, but still really good. We're moving in the right direction. I'm really liking this. So thank you for coming along with me on this little journey of discovery. If you want to let me know what you think, just leave a comment, and otherwise you'll see me in the next one.